Alright guys, so I wanted to do a video about host clubs in Japan and some of the issues that are going on with said host clubs and my opinions on certain topics. Now, I understand that host clubs have come under a lot of fire because of their practices. And although I understand some of them do have practices that are less than savory, such as luring underage girls into situations they may not be aware of and then demanding payment, I do also think that there are points in times where certain audiences need to be held accountable. Basically, the adult women that pay to go to these host clubs. When you're in a situation where you go to a facility to pay for the time and engagement with someone, it baffles me how you don't understand that that relationship is strictly transactional, especially if you know for sure this person would not have spoken to you just organically, like if you were out for a coffee, they wouldn't have approached you. If you have to go to a facility, pay to enter, pay for the host's drinks and food, and pay to interact with them, it's a transactional thing. So it baffles me how some of these women are literally losing their minds when these men no longer interact with them, when they can no longer pay them for their time. There's actually a video going around where there's this woman who is absolutely livid on the streets of Japan, and as it turns out, she was going to a host club, exhausted all her funds, and then got upset because the guy no longer wanted to speak to her when she no longer had the funds. And that was very surprising to me because, again, you are paying someone for their companionship and engagement. Of course, they are acting as though they're engaged in everything you have to say. It's their literal job. You are a paycheck, and you knew that when you entered into it. It's no different than going into, let's just say, dancing services or when you subscribe to someone's premium page. It's the same exact thing. And this gives the same energy as people on the internet who enter into parasocial relationships and think that just because they gifted a creator out a lot and the creator thanked them, that there's a relationship there. No, the creator is literally thanking you for gifting them. Yet time and time again, we hear stories of people who are influencers getting harassed, attacked, and even taken off this planet because someone thought that there was more to the relationship than there actually was when they literally pay a subscription fee to talk to the person. So that's why when it comes to the host club issues, I understand that them targeting underage minors and then demanding payment and all sorts of other things is unacceptable. That definitely is not okay, and they need to be held accountable. However, the customers, when they are adults, need to be held accountable as well. If they choose to exhaust their life funds on a person that they literally have to pay to talk to, and then they're so surprised that when the money's gone, they don't want to talk to them, that's accountability on their end. If they are willingly choosing to not pay their rent, buy themselves food, or even take care of their own selves just to give money to someone who wouldn't interact with them otherwise, that's a personal choice. And I understand that host clubs' jobs are to keep you engaged, but so is everything else. We've had this in society from the very beginning, from burlesque dancers at taverns to, streamers and people who create subscription page content. This is just a normal thing that's always been a way of life and always a way of people to make money. Now, here's the thing. Again, you are paying the person for the interaction and companionship. It is a personal choice on your end. You are a job to them. There was an incident on here where I actually was subscribed to someone who calls himself a host club host on here. I'm not going to say the name of the creator. And my partner noticed that this person would often interact with me, acknowledge me, and even reach out to me on a secondary platform. And he asked me some questions one day because he became suspicious. I started laughing and that upset him. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. And I just told him, I said, babe, I'm this man's paycheck. Of course, he acknowledges me. I drop gifts in his stream and I buy his other available product, on other platforms. I interact with it, I engage with it, I share it, and I spend money on him. Of course, he noticed when I canceled my subscription. First things first, they get an alert. And second, I spent a great deal of money with him. However, there is nothing going on there other than I'm a part of his paycheck. That's his literal job. When he has women coming in his stream flirting with him, even if they're being a little weird, he's still polite and he still flirts back. And he says flirtatious comments. It's literally his job. I'm not his love interest, I'm his paycheck. And that was settled there. But you see, I knew that. Again, I paid for this creator's stuff. I paid to send him gifts. I paid to interact with him. When you pay to interact with someone, you need to understand that that is a transactional relationship. And that's it. There's no romance to be had there. Very seldomly do relationships that started on a transactional basis where you have to pay to talk to someone or you're donating money in streams turns into, oh, we're going to be together. There was actually a case on here where this really popular TikToker, I actually forgot his name and I feel so bad because I do engage with this content, got a girlfriend, and people in his comment section went absolutely ballistic, and he had to put out a PSA like, yo, we're not dating. What are you talking about? You good? I've seen this happen so many times, and it always baffles me how people don't understand the transactional nature of relationships like that. If you enjoy somebody's entertainment on the internet, that's what that is. There's no romantic connection there. If you yourself are choosing to send gifts and even sending stuff to the point where you yourself are neglecting your home responsibilities, your bills, and things of that nature, that is a responsibility that is squared on your shoulders. It isn't the host's fault, and it isn't the streamer's fault, and it isn't the subscription service's fault. It's yours for not prioritizing your own well-being over a person who you literally have to pay to talk to you. Oh, well, I really thought he cared about me. Oh, he seemed like he really liked me. It's his literal job. When you go to a host club, that's the host's job. The host's job is to make you feel happy, to make you feel like you're the only one in the world that matters to him. It's his job to make you feel happy talking to him. He wants you to enjoy your experience so you'll go back and spend more money with him. That's his goal. His goal is not to marry you, be in a relationship with you, or date you. His goal is strictly transactionally based. That's where I think these women are exercising poor judgment and choice. Again, I understand loneliness epidemics, and I understand that that's a big problem in Japan, and I understand that, sometimes you just want someone to talk to, but when you have to pay to do that, you have to understand that that's what that is. That's all it is. You are paying them to fulfill a need of yours, but that's their only job. Their job is not to date you. Their job is not to even fall in love with you. Their job is not to be with you in a romantic capacity. Their job is literally to keep you engaged and keep you spending money. And when you run out, they may not want to talk to you. That's just how it is. I am no longer subscribed to the host club host I was subscribed to for about 2 years. They have not reached out. They have not attempted to speak to me. I also stopped visiting their streams. It was a personal decision on my part. There was one streamer on here I used to like, and I started noticing that they were giving me a bit of the ick. The thing of it is, I ignored it, and it came to a head one night where they started screaming at me and talking down to me. And they were rude to anybody who wasn't actively spending money on them. There are other ways to support people without spending money on this platform. Like, I love it when people come into my platform and they're like tapping when I'm on live. I love that, and I'm always so grateful for it. But there are some creators on here who literally only care about the ones who are financing them. And I got that energy off of that person, and I just decided to drift away. Now, with the host club host, there was something that they said. They made a statement that made me side-eye. And I remember before, when I ignored it, it was with the other streamer, and things did not turn out well there. That turned into a whole issue. So I decided to step back before anything of that nature could happen. That person has not reached out to me, made an attempt to talk to me, or made an attempt to casually see, hey, how are you doing? We were never friends. We were never close. I was a customer, and that's just how that was. A lot of people need to start exercising more awareness of situations. If you are paying somebody, if you are sending them gifts, if you are giving them money of your own volition, that's a choice you are making. And that responsibility squarely falls on you. But tell me what you guys think about this whole host club situation in the comments down below.